Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we are looking at two stocks actually. We are looking at AMC and GME. We're doing it all in this video, so please make sure to subscribe. But yeah, so today is a tale of two sides. We can see AMC is actually down. From around 9:30 this morning up until now, we are down by around 6%. On the other hand, GameStop is up. GameStop is up by around, let's have a look, so around 8%. So of course, things are moving in opposite directions for both of these stocks. We're going to talk about why I personally believe this is in this episode, and of course what could happen potentially going forwards into the future. If you may enjoy this video, please do make sure to leave a like on it, and of course subscribe to the channel. Just about to check how many subscribers we are on, and I do need to say a massive thank you for all of you people that have been supporting us and helping us to get this far. Of course, if you did want to financially support the channel, you can do that by pressing the join button, and by all means do feel free to join our free Discord. Link is in the description. Now I've mentioned that though, let us jump into tonight's episode and look at these two stocks. Right, so because it's the most popular on this channel, we are going to start off by looking at AMC. Right, so AMC specifically is down today by around 6% like I have mentioned. The past 5 days are still up, we can see. Obviously from the start of the 5-day period up until now, we are up by a rather large amount. We started off this 5 days on around $8, finishing off on around $10, so of course we are up by around 23%. The past month again, we saw a lot of flat action in the early part of the 30-day period, as a lot of people weren't too aware as to what was going on with this stock. And then we had that Reddit article come out that a lot of people were still holding, and I think that article made a lot of people quite inquisitive when looking at AMC stock, because AMC, obviously with a lot of people still holding it, it showed that there was a potential of this one pushing up and even potentially making another short squeeze. So that is what we saw. We saw a lot of people trying to hype the stock up, and of course it did work. In that period from the 17th until now, we are up around 80%, so share price almost doubled in only a month or so. But now, like I said, we are seeing the first day in the red for quite some time. Obviously yesterday did bring us down ever so slightly from the open, so we can see 2 days now where the stock is coming down by around 15%. The question is this going to continue, or are we going to see this one level out quite soon? Well, of course we'll talk about this in just a moment, but first let's have a look at how GME is moving today. So GME is up once again. GME is moving in a very positive way, up around 9% so far, and we can see that in the past 5 days, similar to AMC, we are still looking at big gains, this time over 100% in the past 5 days alone. The past month is bringing absolutely insane figures for growth. We can see figures as high as 411%, and as we already know, out of the two, GME is a more hyped one. A lot of people are paying more attention to GME, and I do completely understand this one. I think there is a lot of potential for this one to continue rocketing into the future. So like I said, let's first have a look at AMC and what could happen with this one going forwards. Right then, so like we already saw, this stock has been plummeting now for around 2 days. I think this is to be expected to an extent. I think it is hopefully going to level out pretty soon, as a lot of people are hopefully going to be seeing this $10 point as a point where they are probably going to start adding more shares to their position. A lot of people are seeing AMC and GME for that matter still going to the moon. I definitely believe with the strong audience behind them, it is not impossible. Of course, a lot more people are kind of watching AMC for that potential rise that they are seeing, as they do believe it could reach the same heights as GME. Well guys, personally I don't think this one is going to rocket as high as GME, and that's not even a bad thing. Let's face it, if this one was to double in price and go up to $20, that would still represent a rather large increase in the amount of money that people had invested in this stock if they'd have bought this one now. Now of course, when it comes to investing in this one, we are already aware that there is quite a lot of risk around it, but you know what, ultimately the fact that this one is down now for 2 days is a good thing in my opinion. I know that sounds quite negative to a lot of people, but we do need to look at the situation that we are in. We've seen a very large rise in share price in the past week or so. I think it is to be expected that a lot of people are going to be taking profits at some point. I think this could be that point. So of course, if you are looking to get into the stock, I would definitely wait until mid-session tomorrow, just so we have a bit of certainty as to where this stock is going. Like I said, I do still believe there is a lot of potential. I think this one could even continue to push up, maybe even hitting as high as $20 in the next few weeks, as a lot of people are quite hyped around the stock, and if this momentum does continue continue, which I personally believe it could, we could see a lot of positive action for the share price. Who knows, we might even push higher than $20. And of course, that is a high-end estimate, and it does carry quite a lot of risk with it, as there is also the potential that the share price could go down. So overall, guys, AMC could be a decent buy right now, but it could be quite risky. Overall, though, we do have a factor which could be boosting the share price of both of these, which we are going to talk about in just a moment. I'm sure you can see the tab here. I'm going to be giving all of my opinions on this one in just a second. So now quickly looking at GME going forwards into the future. So GME is the more hyped of the two, as we are aware. Of course, a lot more news articles came out about GME. GameStop was the one which got a lot of hype, and of course it does continue to do so. Being as this stock is the one which a lot more people are paying attention to, I think this one does have the most potential to continue rising into the future. I think a lot of people are quite optimistic for GameStop. We've talked about this one in a previous episode, I think it was last night, how people see estimates for this stock up to $900. People are obviously trying to trigger a second wave of rising in the share price, and it is working so far. We are up to an insane level, and personally I don't think this one is over right now. I think we are going to see quite a lot of growth going forwards. We have already passed the $300 mark only a few days ago. I wouldn't be surprised if we got past it and stayed past it for a while in the next few days if this momentum does continue. So today we are seeing a little bit of a pullback in this one from around 11 o'clock. The share price was coming down ever so slightly, but then from this midpoint in the midday, basically from around 12:40, we can see a little bit of a pullback, bringing us up by around 5%. So again, I think this does indicate to a lot of strength around the stock, a lot of people using this opportunity to buy the dip, and probably we will see this one rise again tomorrow. So over the two, I personally do think that GME is going to see the larger gains, as like I said, a lot more people are aware of this one, a lot more people are thinking that better things are going to come of this stock. But overall, I think AMC still could be a solid buy right now, but it is important that you are aware of the risks associated with both of them. Now, I don't think that these stocks are going to zero, but especially with GME, I think the risk is greater that the share price could plummet going forwards. But if you are willing to take the risk, it definitely could pay off. Now let's talk about the catalyst that we could potentially have coming up for both of these stocks. So I don't know if you've heard in the last day or so, we've had Biden and his $1.9 trillion stimulus. Now the basics of this is it means that a lot of people get a lot of money. From what I can tell so far, basically a lot of Americans are getting checks of up to $1,400, which is a significant amount. Some of these people are in absolute desperation, we already know this. A lot of people do need this, but on the other hand, I think this is a great way to kind of, get people investing on the other hand, in the sense that I personally believe a lot of people are going to be using this money to get into stocks. I have talked about this one in the past, and we have seen this on Twitter in last night's episode on AMC, where we saw somebody who was talking about buying AMC shares with their stimulus. So I definitely think that a lot of people may be using this to invest in the markets. I think a lot of people will be using these to specifically invest in GME and AMC. So again, that is another potential catalyst which I do see coming up for these shares, but at the moment it is hard to say where they are going. I definitely would leave it a day or two, or at least until mid-session tomorrow, just to be sure as to where this one is going, both with GME and AMC. But like I said, out of the two, I think that GME is the one that has the most hype, but that does not necessarily mean that AMC is not a decent buy. So again, I would like to see a little bit of a pullback in AMC share price, hopefully bringing us up into the green tomorrow. If that is the case, I definitely think it could be a decent buy, but again, wait until mid-session in my opinion, just to be sure. Looking at GME, I definitely think that that one is the more solid buy when it comes to big profits in the short term. We are looking at a big amount of potential with this stock. And again, I would wait until the mid-session tomorrow because we're just not certain where this share's price is going, but I definitely do believe that both of them do still have quite a lot of upside potential. So very high risk stocks, but of course the rewards could be quite fantastic as well, but just be aware of what you are doing. Don't waste too much money on these stocks, only put in what you can afford to lose, as they are one of the most risky investments in the market right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because we talk about GME and AMC pretty much every single day, so of course it would be appreciated if you could press that subscribe button. Thank you for joining us in this one though. I hope you did like it. See you in the next one. Goodbye.